In today's video, we are going to be recreating these beautiful disco cherries from Michael's that I got from the brand Ashland. Now, I ordered these to be shipped to home just because they weren't available in any of the stores that I had close to me. However, when I received it, as you can see, there's a lot of imperfections. So there's some paint missing, some gaps in between the tiles here. I forget what I bought these for. I think I got it on sale, but honestly, it doesn't matter the cost. It could have been $1.25 and I still wouldn't have purchased it if I saw this in store. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video to recreate this in a much better way. So to start off with, you're going to be needing some disco balls. I found these off of Amazon. I will put a link in the description, so if you are interested, you can go ahead and check these out. These did come in a variety of different sizes. You'll need some gloves, alcohol ink, because we are going to paint these. So I'm using Crimson Ranger alcohol ink. I'm also going to be using the stem wire to create the stem for the cherries. And then on top of that, I have a whole bag of basically leaves from other floral projects that I have done. So I just keep them all in a bag. So we're just going to dig in here and find ones that are cherry appropriate, but you can always use whatever you have on hand. I'm going to go ahead and just choose two that are the same size. I'm going to be using some alcohol ink. So I have some alcohol ink in Crimson, Sienna, and Ember. I'm going to go in with Crimson because I think it's going to give more of that cherry-like coloring. Now, when you're using alcohol inks, I suggest gloving up as it will stain your hands, not permanently, temporary, but it may take a couple days for that stain to come off. You can use hand sanitizer on your hands and that will take some of it off. I have found it doesn't take all of it off. You can also use some soap and just scrub that off, or maybe a pumice stone to take some of it off. But if you don't want to have to go through that hassle, I would just recommend using gloves just to keep yourself protected. Now, also when using alcohol inks, you definitely want to make sure that your surface is covered, as alcohol inks will stain. As they stain your hands, it will stain your surface. I like to work off of a glass mat because if I make a mess, it's really easy to just take some isopropyl alcohol, spray it, and then wipe it off with a rag. And these rags that I use are from scrapbook.com. They are their crafty cleanup cloths, which I love. You can reuse these, rewash these up to 50 times, and it just easily in one swipe just cleans it up for me. So I highly recommend that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using an ink blender. You can use some felt. You can use the alcohol ink blender by Tim Holtz. You can use a makeup sponge. You can do that as well. I do find that using the makeup sponge or the felt, as the alcohol is drying, it does get a little bit tacky until it's fully cured. So just keep that in mind, that as it gets tacky, it may take off pieces of your sponge. So you kind of want to work quickly when it comes to covering your surface with the alcohol. So for starters, I think I'm going to go ahead and just put some on my glass mat. And these have an eyelet, which we will be removing, but for right now, I think I'm going to just hold on to the eyelet and then work from the bottom up. So I'm just going to get some right onto my sponge, and then I am going to just go in and start dabbing. Look at how pretty that is. And sometimes I even like to blend some of the inks. So I'll take some Crimson, I'll also take some Ember, and just mix that together. And it gives this really beautiful, vibrant cherry red, as you can see, almost with a little bit of an orange undertone. If you want to cover some of the white spaces, you can also add the ink right onto it, so it does cover some of that foam that is underneath the tiles. So I like to do that as well. So you're just going to continue going all the way around, making sure that ink is dabbed on. You can go in layers, and just know that as you work in layers and have one layer dry, it will get reactivated once you apply new ink on top of it, because it's a solvent, so it will react with another solvent. So that is good for the base coat. What I like to do when I dry it is I like to just take a box and take a piece of wire, and since this has an eye hook, I just like to put that wire right into the eye hook and then have it hang on my box like that so that it dries and it's not touching the surface and removing paint. So this is what the disco balls look like with a few coats of the alcohol inks on it. I did go in and do a combo with the Ember as well as the Crimson color from Ranger. I just mixed those two together to get more of an orangey red finish, and I really like the way that looks. So the next step is to just assemble them. So I am using Ashland stem wire. This is wire that's already been wrapped, but you can use wire and then wrap it with floral tape. So I'm just gonna pull one out, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bend it in half. This is an 18 gauge stem wire and it's 18 inches. So I'm just gonna fold that in half. And I'm just gonna get it to a point at the top. So I just took the wire and I folded it in half, and then I just closed it at the top as best I could. And if you need any assistance, I just used some round nose pliers and I just pushed it down so it would fold at the top and give a nice little point. And depending on the length that you want for your stems, you can make these a little bit shorter. Since these are a little smaller, I think I'm gonna cut these down a little bit here. So probably to about there. Just kind of eyeball that. And cut about the same length on both sides. Where the eyelet used to be, you're just gonna put a little bit of hot glue in that hole. Just like that. And then we're just going to insert one end of the stem right in there. And we're going to repeat that with the other one. There we go. Look how cute that is. We just want to make sure that they stand up, and they do. And you can have the cherries be out like that or together. It's really up to you. Now for the leaves, I'm just gonna go into a bag of green leaves that I have. I save all of my green leaves from any florals that I use. So I just kind of collect them all in a bag. I have all different kinds in here. So I just picked some out that I thought would be nice. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to basically put a little bit of glue inside the stem and adhere that to the top. Okay, and then we're just going to push that right down on top. Just like that. I'm going to take another piece of leaf and I'm just going to glue that right onto the back of the first. It's just a little bit of glue and then attach it. And here is our first set of cherries. Look how cute that looks. I love it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish off with the remaining 3. I'll show you what they all look like in a collection. I love how our faux cherries turned out. They are so beautiful, sparkly. They just shimmer and glow and kind of remind me of the ruby red slippers from Wizard of Oz, just with how they catch the light. And really easy to do. You just need some disco balls, some alcohol ink, and you have some instant decor. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps my channel out. So until next time, I will see you all in my next video. Take care. Bye.